In this short presentation, we're going to learn a little bit more about body language. The term body language is actually quite hard to define. It is more of an umbrella term to describe how you are using your body to communicate an emotion to an audience. There are lots of different terminology that make up body language, and it is part of characterization, which is about the ways in which you interpret a character through the way that you use your body and your voice. So there are some specific keywords that contribute to the term body language. Keywords like gestures, facial expressions, stance, posture, movement, and eye contact. Gestures are the things that you do with your hands, and facial expressions is the way that you hold your face to convey an emotion. Stance is the way that you hold your legs and the way that you stand or sit or kneel. And posture is what you do with your back and the relationship that has with your stance. Movement is the way that you move and the way that you can convey their emotion through your movement. And eye contact is about whether you're making eye contact with another character, the audience, a particular part of the stage, or whether you're trying to make eye contact or whether you're trying to avoid eye contact. But the majority of describing what body language is actually talking about the parts of your body. Your legs, your torso, arms, head, feet. Similarly with facial expressions, your mouth, your cheeks, your eyebrows, your forehead. It is the way that you describe the way in which those body parts move that can communicate an emotion to the character. That's what body language is. So let's have a quick look at body language in action. So here we have an actress playing a moody and annoyed teenager. Let's start with her facial expressions. First of all, her mouth is slightly drooping and it's closed and her cheeks are slightly puffed out. All of that suggests her moodiness and perhaps a tinge of sadness. Let's think about her eye contact. Her face is facing the audience, but her eyes are looking above and to one side of the audience, as if to say that she doesn't want to talk to us, she doesn't want to make contact with us. She is annoyed with us. Let's think about her gestures. She isn't really making any specific movement-based gestures, but she's got her arms tightly across over her torso. It's a really closed position. She really is communicating that she doesn't want anything to do with us. Likewise, her shoulders are tense and upright, rigid. She really wants us to go away. Let's think for a moment of her posture. She's very straight. She's stood bolt upright. And although you can't see her legs, you can imagine from her posture so far that her legs are straight and feet firmly planted to the floor. She desperately does not want to talk to us and is doing everything she can to communicate to us not to talk to her. Body language is really, really important because when you're acting to an audience, every part of your body is communicating to that audience. So you need to be in control of every part of your body and think and reflect as you rehearse and as you perform whether your body is communicating 100% to the audience the emotion that you want to communicate. That's similar in real life too. Whatever situation you are in, you are always communicating to an audience what you're thinking and what your emotions are. Whether you're in an assembly, whether you're talking to some teachers, whether you're talking to the head teacher, you are constantly communicating through your body. And if you can master that and make sure you're communicating the right things at the right time, that will really help you personally. So let's move on for a moment and think about how we can write about or verbally reflect on the way that we've used body language. Just pause the video for a moment and read these 4 simple rules about writing about drama. Rule 1 is always mention yourself personally and what you did. Rule number 2 is add a describing word to the character or role you played. Rule number 3 is possibly the most important, and that is to use the connective and along with one of the following phrases to communicate, to convey, to get across, to show, or to express. And rule number 4 is to use at least 2 key terminology and at least as many describing words as you can to describe that key term. If you're not sure what I mean, here is an example. In the performance, I performed an annoyed and moody teenage girl. And to communicate that I was annoyed, I faced the audience but didn't make a direct eye contact with them. I also narrowed my eyes. I had my arms crossed, shoulders tight, and my back straight. In that sentence, I've referenced what I did. I've described my character using some describing words. I've told you how I communicated that through my body language, and specifically my eye contact, my narrowed eyes, my arms crossed, my shoulders tight, and my back straight.